In this video, we're going to talk about Canon C50 accessories, the cage, baseplate, monitor mount, and more. This is the base kit, which includes the cage that wraps around the camera body. This cage was designed so you can quickly grab the camera and access all of your buttons. You can also flip out your LCD screen and position that easily. And you also have mounting points on every side, 1/4-20, 3/8, as well as M4x20 holes. On the left, we have an HDMI lock, and since every connector is a different size, we include reduction inserts to adapt to the cable you have. So just take your cable end and find the right one that fits correctly. That's good, so we'll drop this into our lock. There's a lip in here that keeps this in place so it won't fall out when you're not using your cable. Now we can add our cable and then lock this knob to keep it in place. The bottom of the cage has an Arca Dovetail interface, and to release it from the base plate, you can unlock the thumb screw on the right side. Slide forwards or backwards and push the safety pin to remove it. You can see that we have a slot design here, and that's so you can add a lens support post and adjust the dovetail to fit the lens adapter. So you just loosen the 4 screws there, slide this forwards and backwards. You can loosen this screw and slide the post up and down. We also include 3 lengths of posts. This is the medium one as an example. We also have a short and a long. If you're rigging the C50 to a car, there's 1/4-20 and 3/8 mounting points on the bottom of this base plate, and you can remove the Arca Dovetail entirely if you need to. This cage is form-fitting to the camera, so you can access your battery door here without having to take it out of the cage. To reinstall the camera on the base plate, just drop it into the Arca Dovetail slot and slide forward. That pop lets you know that you're on the base plate so it won't fall off. Just find the right position for you and lock the thumb screw on the right side. The base plate is included in the base kit, and this holds 2 15mm rods at the correct distance from the center of the lens. On the bottom of the base plate, there is an airy dovetail interface, and you can quick release that dovetail by unlocking the left thumb screw, pushing the silver button down, and lifting straight off. To reinstall, drop down. That pop lets you know that you're on the dovetail, and you can counterbalance, and then lock the thumb screw to keep it in place. When we were designing this cage, we wanted to make sure that you could still access and hold the camera like you would if it was straight out of the box. And that's because this has a great ergonomic design, and all these buttons are very useful when you're shooting, and we wanted to not obstruct that. We've also added some nice contours here so you can grab the camera with your left hand. You can sort of wedge your thumb in here. You can also use this as a secondary grip, and we're going to add some additional accessories back here, including a power plate that can swing out. So that'll be a nice feature for this rod. The handle that comes with the camera is fantastic. It has XLR inputs with phantom power, so you would probably use this at all times. But if you don't use it, you can reconfigure the cage in a slightly different way. To remove the handle, we'll unlock these 2 1/4-20s with a 4mm or 5/32 Allen wrench. We'll take our handle tie down off. We'll loosen this screw on the side of the top here, and this one on the left side. Pull our top plate off. Then we'll loosen our 2 screws for the Canon handle. Now we could reinstall this back onto the cage like that, but since the handle's not here, we can also flip this around because this is a symmetrical design. You can lock this down. And now you have an option for adding a handle on the front here if you want, a different handle. You also have more access to your LCD screen if you want to shoot in this configuration. This is the mid kit, which includes the previous items, plus we've added 2 15mm rods that are 9 inches long. On the top, we've added a sideways rod clamp that attaches in place of the microphone shock mount. On top of the rod clamp, there's also a 1/4-20 for adding additional accessories. And you can also reattach the microphone shock mount using the replica holes on the top here. The top rod clamp is great for adding our twist mount EVF system. We'll just drop this rod into the sideways opening, lock the knob, then we'll add our monitor into the friction knuckle. Lock that thumb screw. There's 2 points of friction here, so you can grab this and adjust it without having to loosen a thumb screw. If you want to have the monitor over the lens area, you can do that by unlocking the NATO clamp, sliding off the NATO rail. We'll flip it over and use the inside NATO rail. Lock that knob, and now we can position this directly over the camera. The twist ball arm is another option to mount your monitor to the camera. To start, we'll install a spud onto our 1/4-20 with area locating pins. Then we'll add our arm here. Drop that on, lock this knob. Then we can add our monitor. It's the same spud that we used for the twist mount EVF system. And now, because these are variable friction, you can still grab this and twist it without having to loosen a thumb screw. These are a few other useful things for the C50. This is a universal hot shoe which attaches to a 1/4-20 or 3/8 with locating pins. Since there's a variety of locating pin orientations on the cage, you can pick a spot and use that. This is a top rod bracket, and this will attach to the back of the top plate. So if you want to have rods coming out the back of the camera, you can do that, or you could run rods forward over the lens area. We also have an audio adapter. This is the AB3, which is a stereo to 2 XLR. If you don't want to use the handle, you can plug this into the stereo port on the camera and get some scratch audio. The cage will attach to any area dovetail like this larger one here for the O'Connor 2060 heads. So if you need a large dovetail, we have them. We also have Ronin RS4 dovetail adapters, and to use that, we'll unlock our base plate, slide this off the back here, and we can slide this adapter on. This will let you go directly onto the Ronin RS4, and you can see on the bottom here, we actually have the gearing to go directly onto the gimbal. Canon C50 products are available now at MID49.com.